Okay, Altars by Chronos. Bring another video here. This is my playmat. I am not the one playing on the left here. That is a buddy of mine, Rob. We are trying to build him a Chains deck. As much as it hurts my soul to help build him this thing, we are going through all kinds of stuff to try and make Chains into a very threatening deck. It already is a problem child, but we're trying to figure out how to make this thing work a little bit better. So there's my demonic tutor that I love so much. If you have any ideas for altars, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to let you know this game was played at White Dragon Comics in Tannersville. Amazing people there, amazing crew. Should really come and hang out at some point. We usually run tournaments about once a month, once every month and a half. They're smaller tournaments sometimes they are bigger, depending. It's hard for a lot of the other guys in the other crew to drive down. Sometimes it's about a 10-person match, other times it's close to 20, depending on if the guys are able to come down from the mountains and around the area or not. But it is growing. It is a completely free tournament, proxy and reprint friendly. We're just looking for people to get used to playing old school Magic. All of these guys have been Magic players, but none of them played actual old school. They were all after the fact, and they got hooked on how awesome old school is. So some people have donated some cards to me, and I'm donating to them. So I got a lot of these guys hooked up and set up, and they're having a blast and loving it. So we're slowly growing an old school community when I was originally the only old school player at that store. Owner Pete, awesome dude. But that being said, let's move on and see exactly what's going to be happening here. Now Chains, I'm just going to not even try and pronounce the last part of it. I can never pronounce it correctly, so I guess I'll give a fair warning. I will try. I'll butcher it bad for you. But Chains of Mephistopheles, I believe it's pronounced, something like that. But basically it needs a entire card and piece of paper to tell you all the rules and how it works. The writing on the card does not do it. It is a massive undertaking to know how to play Chains. So basically what we learn here is an opening hand. He had the mulligan out. Rob looks like he's on the left. He's in pretty good shape. I'm just going to fast forward here a hot second. Now this is the Atog player that I played before against. He did very well in the tournament. Rob's trying to show his hand there. I'm not used to that myself too much yet. I kind of fail at that a little bit, so I'm trying to get better at it. Again, I'm new to this. My daughter wanted me to post some videos. So I'm just going to make them, and she's going to help me post them when she has time, and I'll post them when she doesn't. Alright, there's one of those beautiful islands into a box, into a Ankh. Oh boy, that's a hard start. And Rob says, well, I guess my plan's down the drain, so maybe I'll get a new hand. Rob likes to gamble with those things. Works out for him quite a bit, actually. Rob's getting new and altering. He alters with paint, I alter with ink, but you can see a mountain here he was playing around with, adding the forest to the bottom, and he's getting pretty good at it, actually. That was one of his first ones, kind of just toying around with. But he made some pretty cool sedge trolls and stuff. He made a really good plow that he actually put up at this tournament. I'm going to go over a deck list of the Dune, where it's currently at, and kind of just show where I'm at the moment with it, and go from there. But for right now, let's watch these guys play, because this is the match, I believe, before the finals, which is where I was at with the Atog player. That video is already posted. Time walk. Brutal. Another Mox. Let me guess. Dib? Nope. Time Twister. Oh boy. We're going to fast forward a second here as well. I remember these guys laughing about something about shuffling over and over again. This had to be the spot that they were laughing about. Rob's plan initially worked out. I remember Rob telling me, right, he had an amazing hand. Unfortunately, he didn't get to play it. Atog player did not have a good hand. That's where the Time Twister came into play. Oh, there's a Wheel of Fortune. Isn't that funny? Trying to decide, am I playing a Volcanic? Am I not playing a Volcanic? There's the Volcanic. And the pass a turn. Rob's gonna play a Badlands. Lose 2 life. Let's see what pops out. I'm guessing Chains. Nope, Demonic Tutor. That's gonna be for the other combo piece, I guarantee it. Atog better hope for a counterspell, otherwise his entire hand is gonna be gone and he won't have any cards. A version of Rob's deck he wanted to try out Howling Mines in it. Because if you have 2 Chains out and a Howling Mine, basically you don't draw any cards. You immediately mill. It's basically like a continuous mill of your deck. So we got Badlands, and let's see what we do here on the Atog side. Oh, another Ankh. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna mean Rob's probably gonna lose 4 life to get his combo off. Demonic Tutor. Might be going for his favorite card, Ancestral Recall. There, he's thinking about it. There it is. So he's picking another card instead. Almost caught himself. I do that too many times. I go to shuffle and I end up putting half my deck upside down in my other deck, and it drives me absolutely insane. Really making sure he knows what he's doing here. He's really second guessing himself. Because you could go for damage, knowing he's probably going to lose 4 life to drop a land. You could go for a Vice, do some serious damage too, but it depends. If Rob has his combo off, your Vice is useless, and that's where a lot of people have problems with Chains. They don't realize that Vice is really not going to do that much. They may hit you once or twice, but they're probably just going to be Atog bait. Yep, there's the Vice. Rob's going to lose life from the Vice. And he's going to lose another 4 life. Rob's going for his combo, I know it. There it is. Basically what happens here is they're going to discuss it a couple times to try and understand it, but your entire hand goes into your library and then you mill that many cards. If you had 5 cards in your hand, congratulations, you are milling 5 cards. Rob throws his just off to the side, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was a Sedge Troll, possibly a Shatter, a land. And because Rob already drew, he's not allowed to draw, so he dumps a Badlands. Oh my gosh. If you did not see those cards, rewind that and watch that. That is a really bad dump. That's bad luck. I like when that happens. If I mill all lands, I feel a little bit better about myself, but that never happens. Oh, forgot to put the Chains in the graveyard. I'm sorry. The Winds of Change in the graveyard. Here's another Chains. Now that double stack does change the way it stacks, and it is absolutely brutal. I'm not going to try and explain it because 90% of the time I don't even fully remember it. Basically, you don't draw cards. You hold a card in your hand, that's fine, but at this point, Atog is going to eat him alive and kill him. So Rob's going to forfeit out. Oh, and he shows he has a Sonic Blast just for good luck. let's go past all the sideboarding here. Let's get into game 2. Alright, let's see. By the way, I wasn't mad at LobsterCon, or not at LobsterCon. The guy who got it at LobsterCon had it signed off and done by the guy who makes it. And I actually won it at Goblin Hero Cup in Jersey. If you don't know Jonathan and Goblin Hero Cup, you really need to. It's an amazing cause. It's for children with cancer. So it goes to a benefit that helped children with cancer. The last tournament I was in, didn't really have this deck, didn't really know what I was doing in that atmosphere yet, and I decided to make changes at the last minute, and they were horrible changes, and I totally got my hand handed to me. But it was a great time. I absolutely loved it, and I cannot wait to play a version of the Dune in there to see how it does against those other decks. But I'm going to be able to play test a little bit more, maybe make another change or two in the sideboard. See, Rob liked how my gargoyles came across, and he wanted to play some gargoyles, and when you have open red mana sources, gargoyles are absolutely devastating. Rob also likes deserts instead of factories, mainly because, you know, Savannah Lions, a lot of instant 1s and 2s, and people forget lightning bolt plus desert equals 4 damage. So if you have Sarah Angel or Sanger Vampire, you do get in, but then you're gonna die. Oh, there's Chains. Does he have the other card? Nope, Rob would have played it. Attack for 2, and I believe a pass. Yep. Winter Orb is out, so we only untap 1 land. Now, in case you have not heard from me before, these are real recordings. If stuff happens in the background, I apologize. Hopefully it does not bother you. But when I'm doing this, it's either when one of my kids is taking a nap or something's going on. So my daughter will hop in and help me out. She's not here at the moment. But my little guy is sleeping. We just had a minor surgery to try and help him out. Hopefully that helps him out. Here is another desert, so now we really got to be concerned on his end. Because unless he feeds an Atog, it's instantly going to die as soon as it touches him. So he's got to make sure if he's going to use an Atog now, he's got to make sure it's worth it. Because otherwise he's sacrificing just to get a couple damage points through. Looks like we're just going to pass back and forth. You can see one of Rob's altered swamps down there. I think he has a set of 3 if I'm not mistaken at this point that connect together. It's pretty cool. There's another one of those lovely gargoyles. And there's the bolt. The problem is Rob, what I was kind of concerned about is he doesn't have enough red all the time. Believe it or not, even though mine's 4 color, I have easier access to red than his deck with only 2 colors. Oh, there's another Winds of Change. Now that's gonna cause a problem. It's actually one Rob won at our tournament here. I believe he played Blood Moon's main deck with that version. Skip ahead here a minute. There's a quote. Let me back up here for a second. Yep, Rod had to discord. Yeah, Rob dumped a I believe that's a rack and a mind twist. That actually kind of hurts. That mind twist would be kind of nice, but again, with chains, you don't have hands. So sometimes mind twist is actually a dead useless card in this deck. Now we're in top deck mode. Dib? Yeah, there's a beautiful dib. That's a problem for Rob. He has 2 deserts, but does he have a bolt or some way to remove it? It's like Rob's getting a little land flooded. It's nice if he has a fireball, but nope. No way to remove it yet. Couldn't quite see what he had in his hand. Oh, an Ankh. A little late for that, but Atog food it is. And there's land. Not quite sure what's in Rob's hand, but there's a top deck of a Terror. There's a gentleman that comes, another Jonathan, that comes down once in a while to play with us when he can. He actually has a set of, he alters things also, but he has a set. He's up from Scranton Wilkes-Barre area, and he put some coal mine basically into that Terror. He put a pick in his hand and has a coal miner's cart on the back end, and I thought those were amazing. I think Rob might be out of answers. There's a shatter on the green Mox. I don't think he actually plays any green in this deck. No regrowth, no nothing. They're just in there for Atog food and a little bit of ramp. Rob does not know that. He's not concerned over the other cards because he has no problem with his lands. He's trying to find an answer for that creature, and I don't think Rob's on a small clock here. He's got to figure something out right now. He does not have ice damage yet. There we go. Top deck, Red Elemental Blast. Let's see what happens. If he draws an Atog, there's a problem. Nope. He has power in his hand, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was an Ancestral Recall, but that's not going to help him right now because it's just going to make him mill. Oof, that is brutal. But it doesn't help him. Rob needs some kind of win condition here. He needs to start doing some damage. Demonic Tutor. What are we going to get? What do you think he's going to get? Let me know in the comments if you actually guessed correctly here. At this point, I'd probably go for an Atog and finish it off myself. Because if Rob doesn't have an answer, because he's been top decking for creature removal, so if I have to pull an Atog out with a Demonic Tutor, most likely the game is over. And there it is, the Atog. Does Rob have an answer? Well, that may help him out. Let's see what he has. Does he have any direct damage in hand? Guessing he does. Yep, he's discussing how he's doing it. He's going to feed the Atog. And Chain Lightning for the win. That's it. If you have any suggestions for Rob, put it in the comments. We'll see if we can get him some extra help here. I definitely am one for making decks that are totally different. And Rob's doing the same thing, and more power to him. I hope he finds a way. You can kind of watch him go through some of his stuff. He did side in Suchi, so I'm not mistaken. and he has trolls. Have a wonderful day.